Well, it's been 2 weeks and these seedlings are on fire. Hey folks, welcome back to the Rockin' Sea Homestead. My name is Lance. I want to welcome you to our channel. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about our seedlings. And if you guys have watched, we did a video a couple weeks ago where we planted the seedlings. And the ones on the bottom here, these are mostly tomatoes. Those popped probably within 5 days. Typically it takes 7 to 10, but those things really were eager to get up and going. The peppers, which are a little bit on top here, those took a little bit longer. But we're at that point now, especially with the tomatoes, where we need to either figure out if we're going to keep them or we need to get rid of them. And what I mean by that are the ones that have multiples in the same pot. So we're going to take down a rack here and see what we got going on. All right, so I took one of the racks down, or one of the trays down off the rack. And this is our cherry tomato rack. So these are sun sugar tomatoes. These 4 containers, and you can see we had full germination. We planted 4 or 8 seeds altogether, and we don't need 2 plants in 1 pot, and we don't have any of them that need to be transplanted. So really what we're just going to do is kind of look at what plant we think looks best between the 2, and we're going to take one out. What I try to do is be very, very careful, kind of put my hand down in there, and I just pulled up very gently. And you see they have a little bit of root. They don't have a lot of roots yet, but they do have some. And so then we'll just kind of put that back in there. And these are about the same. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to go through here and see which ones we like best and pull the ones we don't like and keep the ones we do. All right, so now we're down to another set of tomatoes. So this is our Dr. Weix tomato, I think is how it's pronounced. It's kind of a yellow, kind of beefsteak style tomato. And you can see we had a little different germination. So these 2, both seeds germinated in both pots perfectly. This one looks like it has a late sprouter just coming up. So unfortunately that one's gonna go because that's gonna be really off the height from all these other ones. And we had one that didn't grow at all. So what we're going to try to do to make sure that we have enough plants to kind of meet our needs at the end of after we finish growing these out and before we plant them, I'm going to try to transplant one of these into this pot here. So we're just not wasting the plant itself. So I think I'm going to try to transplant this one right here. So what I try to do is try to scoop in here and try to grab a bundle of soil like that for these. Because they have roots, I'm just going to kind of move some of the soil from that one over to here. And what I was trying to do was make sure that I got all the roots, or as much of the roots as possible. So when I water this in tonight, they should be good to go. So hopefully that will last. I'll want to put this where the doctor's on the outside so I'll know this is the one that we transplanted. Like I said, there was that little one on that one. That one's done. And on this one, I think I'm going to take this one out. Keep that one. Just want to make sure this is all nice and secure. Since we kind of took some soil out. And there we go. Now, I will say we have been super pleased with the soil that we're using on this. If you haven't seen what soil, the soil that we're using, make sure you go back and catch our first video. I'll post it here when we talk about the seedlings. It's Baby Big Roots. And it is a super fine potting mix, and it is fantastic. A friend of ours suggested it for us, and it has not disappointed. Like I said, the tomatoes, those guys were popping up, germinating within 5 days. Typically, it takes 7 to 10 days, so it went really, really quick. We still have a couple more here on our ox hearts. This is another big beefsteak tomato. So I'm just kind of pulling out the ones I think need to come out. All right, so I'm just going to continue doing these. So I'm just about at the end of our tomatoes, and I'm getting into our peppers. So these two right here are our habanadas. And if you can look here, we have 2, 2, and 1, and 0. So obviously these germinated, but for whatever reason, this one did not. So we're going to try to transplant one of these into here, and we'll just keep working that way. If we need to try to transplant one, we'll try to transplant it. If for these that had multiple germinations and we don't need more, we'll just pull the extra one out and just keep going with it. So that's what we're going to keep doing until we get it finished. Okay, so we got all of our seedlings sorted out, and we went through and we picked the best plants and left them in there, and we got rid of the ones that we didn't need. I think we have enough plants that we planned on actually planting outside. So even though we didn't have full germination on everything, I still think we're in good shape. One of the great things in this setup that we have when it comes to doing these seedlings indoors is this rack system. So within the rack system, the shelves are easily adjustable. So right now we have the lights pretty close to the pots, and we do that for several reasons. Number one, it gives them a little more heat, gives them a lot of sun, a lot of light, but it also eliminates the plants from trying to get leggy. So there's plenty of light. As you can see, even down here, even though these are getting a little bit taller, they're not going crazy. They're not trying to reach up and try to get more light because there's plenty of light on them. As these plants get bigger, we may have to adjust that, and we can move these down and adjust them down this way, and it'll drop it. We can drop this one down and so forth. Like I said, it's really helpful and beneficial. Actually, we're going to start some more seeds in extra pots over here. Marcy has some plants, some flowers that she's going to plant, some zinnias, so we're going to do those from seeds. Typically we just get plants from the big box store for that, but we're going to try some from home seeding this year. So things to come on this. So now, since we've done all that, just to let you guys know, I do water this at least once a day. So I have a little pump sprayer down here. Super easy. You know, I can kind of adjust how fast or how slow. It has a huge long wand to it, so I can just come over here. I can hit all of them, even the ones back here, even all the way down to the next aisle. So I can reach all of this without having to move it. And so I just have to fill that up about twice a week, bring it in, and do that. So we water that at least once a week. And we water that once a day, every day of the week. And then in about a week or a week and a half, I'm actually going to start hooking up some fans. So I have 2 fans here ready to go, one for each side. And what this is for, it's going to be blowing air gently across all of the plants, and that's going to help get them more robust and ready to be better plants outdoors, because once they go outdoors, they're going to be hit with sunlight, they're going to be hit with wind and all those kind of things. And it's just another way to kind of get them used to a little bit more stressful environment. Right now they're pretty babied, but we do want to start stressing them a little bit just so they get a little bit stronger, a little more healthier. So when we get them outside come May, they're going to be good to go for us. So guys, that is the update on our seedlings. Thanks for coming back, watching the video. If you have any questions, make sure you please leave them down in the comments. If you liked our video, give us a thumbs up. If you know anybody that would like this type of content, make sure you share it to them. And make sure you share it on your social media. Of course, we have Facebook, Instagram, all those kind of things. The links are down below in our description. And guys, again, thank you from our homestead to yours. Have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye.